Continuing my Battlefield Controls series for Shogun Total War, I will now be covering Hold Position versus Skirmish mode. These are pretty simple to understand, but I think that they are still worth covering. Hold Position means that the unit will not leave its position unless it's been directly ordered to do so. This means that if you have ranged units set to hold position, and if they've been firing at a unit that then moves out of their range, they will not move out of position and able to continue firing at their target. This is true whether they've been set to fire at will, or if you have manually set their target. This is useful because it keeps your ranged units from wandering into a melee that they have no business of being in. For melee units, this works a little differently. If you tell a melee unit that is set to hold position to attack an enemy unit, then that unit will move to close the distance and engage its target. If the target unit then breaks and retreats or just falls back, then your melee unit that is set to hold position will still continue to chase its target unit that you have commanded it to engage. This doesn't mean that hold position is useless for melee units though. Quite the contrary. If a melee unit that is set to hold position is engaged by the enemy unit without being given an attack order to countercharge, then it will simply hold its ground. If the enemy unit then breaks, then the unit that is set to hold position will continue to hold its ground, and it will not chase the enemy unit. This keeps your formation in order, and it makes sure that there are no gaps in your line. Skirmish mode is only available for ranged units. The key to using skirmish mode effectively is to set your expectations low. If you send your cavalry archers out ahead of your main force towards an enemy flank in the hopes that they will be able to draw apart the enemy force through ranged harassment, and if you think that you can just leave these cavalry archers on skirmish mode and that they'll do a competent job of keeping themselves safe, then it's most likely that they will get themselves caught and killed. Units on skirmish mode will oftentimes react too slowly to an advancing enemy unit, and they will oftentimes move in an incorrect direction that can lead to them getting trapped. The solution to this is to support your ranged units with melee units. Ranged units that are set to skirmish can help take some of the micro load off of you. You can't count on them to do the full job of getting out of the way, but they can do part of the job. Oftentimes, enemy units can be baited into an engagement that they don't want to participate in by screening a melee force with skirmishers. Just make sure to take your ranged units off of skirmish mode once they are safely behind friendly lines, so that they can resume firing at enemy forces as they approach.